Tennessee's Wild Side, broadcast for nearly 2 decades, was originally created through a vision of the Jackson Foundation. The foundation remains a supportive partner in the mission to educate viewers about wildlife, natural resources, and opportunities for outdoor adventure. Wild Side is produced by Rockwater TV with support from Tennessee State Parks, where you can discover our state's diverse heritage through spectacular landscapes, family-friendly recreation, and affordable lodging. Tennessee State Parks, fun and adventure naturally. And with support from the Tennessee Department of Agriculture, promoting wise uses of Tennessee's agricultural and forest resources to develop economic opportunities and to ensure safe and dependable food, fuel, and fiber for all citizens.
Hi friends, welcome to the Wild Side. I'm Steve Hall. Unless you've grown up in a world of pony clubs, followed by a little fox hunting, you might not necessarily understand all the ups and downs of steeplechasing, or why so many well-to-do people are attracted to Percy Warner Park in Nashville every year to watch the races. Now, we're horse owners, but we really knew nothing about the sport except that it involves jumping and maybe a friendly wager or two. So when Assistant Agriculture Commissioner Corinne Gould, who is also an accomplished equestrian, suggested we go behind the scenes with a successful trainer and one of the horse owners, we decided to follow her advice. We found out not only are these people truly caring for these competitive horses, we learned a little bit more about what's actually going on out there on the field.
Make way for the rite of spring. Nashville is in full bloom. It's the second Saturday in May, and it's race day.
It's just special, and it's one of the best races in the country. It really is.
A typical Iroquois steeplechase crowd will include about 25,000 spectators, many hoping to see and be seen in one of the high society Music City events of the year. There are others just here for the party. And then there are those who are here to bring a locally owned and trained horse to compete against some of the most enviable equines in the world.
I mean, when you're involved in racing, whether it's flat racing or steeplechasing, they call it hurdle racing, it's hard to win. Everything has to go right, everything.
It's why owner Mary Brockman and other members of the Tantivy racing team put their trust in trainer Ted Thompson. Like Mary, who grew up riding and competing, he's a lifelong lover of horses and was basically born into the business.
I had 2 older sisters, and they both rode, and they didn't know what else to do with me, so they made me ride as well. And so I rode all the way through high school, did pony clubbing and eventing and that kind of stuff. Went to school for 4 years, came back, and I had to pay off my first installment of my school loans, and I didn't have a job. So I started riding some horses and doing a couple barns for people.
A quick fix for his finances helped determine Ted's fate, turning his eyes away from that college debt and setting his sights successfully on horse racing.
And a couple horses turned into a couple more, and then, it turned into about 18 that I was getting on. And, it was a job, and I haven't looked back.
Looking out ahead is how Ted starts every morning, up before 5 a.m. on a secluded ranch about an hour south of Nashville. He has 2 Tantivy team horses in training, but one is still on stall rest. So his inspiration on this day is a hopeful steeplechase horse, appropriately named Motivational.
We've run him twice this spring. Hadn't had a lot of luck so far. He's been a little cautious in his jumping, but he's sort of getting to the point. He's getting a little more settled into it, and a little more aggressive, and we're hoping for good things.
A thoroughbred gelding with a bloodline of champions, Motivational is well acclimated to his morning rituals.
And he's a funny little horse. He's very smart, which makes things difficult because you have to reason with him. But he picks things up, very quickly. He's a little bit OCD. He likes things the way he likes them, and so once you kind of find his routine and he's comfortable with it, then he's dead easy to deal with. but you kind of have to figure out what he likes.
What they both like is early morning exercise and training sessions before Tennessee temperatures begin to rise.
You get on them, and the first thing you're doing really is sort of assessing how they're moving, their mood, how they sort of feel. You go out, and I like to jog down the road, because on the pavement, if there's anything, any little bobble, you'll feel it. I mean, it'll magnify. And if they're going soundly on that, then they're feeling pretty good. They kind of warm up and they kind of know what's coming up. They'll get into the bridle a little more and they'll go a little quicker, and they'll break into a canter, and it feels as good as it looks. I know from watching it looks like, oh man, it looks fun, and it's that much fun and more. They're amazing animals, and they're so generous with all their abilities and all they give to us.
Motivational's gift is the ability to jump. Even so, he lacks confidence. So as part of his regular training, Ted follows a routine we will see again at the actual race. He presents Motivational to the fences he will cross.
They're used to going and looking at it, having a little time to kind of sit and settle, and then you turn back around and come back to it. You just kind of keep him ticking over. And he ran last Saturday. So he had 3 days off, and I got on him and just gave him a light jog yesterday. So I just wanted him to come back, have a nice little canter, stretch himself a little bit, and then get down over a couple fences and kind of get back in the rhythm of it. And he just likes the repetition of it.
He looks at the sport with the right eye. He works well with horses. He doesn't look for excuses when something isn't right. He really understands the basics, and he's not trying a bunch of, tricks to make something work. And he can evaluate. He's got a great eye for a horse.
It takes a great eye, a natural instinct, an ability to ride well, and incredible courage to make it from the farm to the fast track. Excuses won't work on a 3-mile course hosting 6 jumps per mile, 18 total.
I think we've got 3 horses coming from Ireland this year. And I'm telling you, you get Irish horses, they're the best of the best. They really are.
With one of their prized horses recovering from an injury, all hope falls on Motivational. In the second race of the Steeplechase, he's the number 4 horse, running to finish number 1.
Number 4, second race. You got this.
And they're at the starting point. And they're off. Motivational now moves up. Then comes Douchy there in third. They jump the first onto the second there, and Motivational has the lead as they make the turn down the back straight for the first time. And the leader is Motivational, in front by about 6. Long shot Motivational is your leader here by about 5 lengths. Canadian Gold next.
Here we go.
Orchestra leader.
Go Motivational.
As they head down the back straight for the final time. On they go now to the 14th. Still Motivational. And into the far turn they go. Motivational. But here comes Canadian Gold.
Motivational takes the lead, he holds the lead, and heading for home, he slips to third.
Lord Justice! Threw it on the inside to take the lead over there. Lord Justice, in time, in the great hour.
But remember, it's a 3-mile race with 18 hurdles, and to hold the lead that long was a test of Motivational's endurance. For his previous lack of confidence, it was a solid victory.
You enjoy the process and the people, and if you love horses like I do, you can take the disappointment, but of course you always want your horse to race his best and be competitive.
Racing neck and neck with expensive European horses, Motivational confirmed his competitive skills and further secured his place on the Tantivy team.
They call it the first second career. I mean, it's a great spot for horses coming off the flat to go and find a nice life. And these horses run till they're 12, 14 years old sometimes. So it's a great, nice life. They get retired afterwards. They get to go fox hunting or be people's riding horses, and it's just a great place to land. They have a great life. I mean, these horses are loved and cared for from the minute they're born, until their last days.
Born to run, able to jump, living a life of privilege. That's this Steeplechase horse. I'm Annette Knoll Hall on the Wild Side.
You're welcome to jump on over to our website, wildsidetv.com, to learn more about the steeplechase. Now, there have been some controversies over the years because of injuries with jockeys and horses. Ted says he has been injured, but never while racing or jumping. And as for the Tantivy horses, we're told that they are treated very much like Tennessee Titans, with MRIs, X-rays, and ultrasounds to make sure they stay in tip-top condition.